Welcome to the Mind Fuel Chakra 30-day series, where we're going to balance, energize, and bring vitality to the chakras. Make sure you're subscribed and don't forget to like and comment. Let's dive in. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Mind Fuel Chakra series. We are on day 17, but we are beginning the exploration with our fifth chakra, the throat chakra, Vishuddha. So let's go ahead and dive right in and talk about the elements of this chakra. What are the blockages? What are the ways to balance? How do we know we're in balance? So the color associated with our throat chakra is blue. And the throat chakra, as you can imagine, is located right here in our throat. So connected to our thyroid, our thymus gland, all those important glands for our system. So when we think about the throat chakra, it literally is this idea of using our voice and using our voice to communicate effectively. It's all about communication. And communication comes in various ways. It's not just us speaking and expressing, but it's also being in stillness and listening. Right? So we don't think about it like that. So being in stillness, listening to just the outside world, listening, really truly listening when we're in conversations, looking into someone's eyes, taking in what they are giving us so that we can respond effectively. So it's about communication, being able to communicate effectively, being able to communicate our truth, our authentic voice. So this is really important. So when we are out of balance, when there's a blockage, this could come up as the form of yelling. This could also come up as a form of shying away and not speaking our truth, knowing we want to say something, but we don't, right? Not being able to listen. Maybe we're fidgety, maybe we're multitasking and not being able to listen to the outside world. Maybe not listen to, when we're in a meeting, right? We're daydreaming, right? So being able to be present with what's going on in that time and listening to the people, the person, whatever that is. So when we are in balance, we're able to express ourselves fully. We're able to truly share our voice, our values, our boundaries, whatever it is, fully, unapologetically. And we're also able to listen and be in stillness. So as we now begin this new exploration with the fifth chakra, I'm going to invite you to really expand on this chakra. One of the things to do that is chanting. So we've already been doing that, and there's a specific chant. As you've learned, there's chants for all of the different chakras, but this one's going to be really focused in. You'll feel the vibration in your throat when we get to this. So you're not going to be able to, if you're watching this in real time, get to the chant until it's posted. But what other ways can you work with your throat? It could be singing, it could be humming, or practice the idea of listening when you're talking to someone or having a conversation with someone, right? Really practicing to listen. But if you want to make this playful, sing your favorite songs while you're in the car, like out loud. Sing in your room, sing around the house, or hum. And when we get to the chant, really chant and work with the chant that day, maybe throughout the day, even, if you're doing certain things, and work with it during the other practices that we'll do for the throat chakra. So these are some things you can think of as we are working now with the fifth chakra in these next 4 days. Okay? So it's all about expression. It's all about communicating and sharing our authentic voice. What is our authentic voice? Meaning our truth, right? So if all these other chakras are now in balance, our throat chakra, when we speak, is always going to come from a place of love. It's going to come from a place of confidence. It's going to come from a place of play and creativity and come from a place of stability and security, right? When we say certain things, or when we yell, or when we shy away, that also means something else is unbalanced, right? If I'm not speaking my truth, it means I'm not confident. If I'm yelling, right, that means that my emotions are not intact. So it's all connected, right? All right, let's dive in and play with the oracle. As I mentioned, it's blue. So these are the cards for our Chakra Wisdom Oracle deck. And this deck has been very just interesting, right? Playing with it and seeing the different illustrations, the words, the messages. It's been, even for me, leading it has been a very interesting journey of another way to explore each chakra, but very needed. That's the thing, is that we sometimes don't want to go deep or see certain things or work with certain things. And it's so important for us to do so in order to really have the freedom, have the bliss, have the joy. If we're hiding from things, right, we're not able to really flow as easily because there's something in the back of our mind we know we haven't worked on, or there's fear or whatever it is, right? So, especially when we're working with our throat, we need to speak our truth. Our voices are powerful. So, we have to do some work so that our voice is authentic. And the things that we say truly do come from love. And we've all been there where we've yelled or screamed. I tell a story about this actually in my onstage presentations. And if you've heard those onstage presentations, you know that story. And and that was me working, my throat chakra was not balanced. And I don't say that in the story because the story, it shares a different meaning, but our stories have many multiple meanings, right? So maybe in this series, this would have been the time to tell that story, but it's not meant for this. This is what the cards do. They tell the stories for this one, but I definitely have been there, right? When we didn't, or we've said something that we know we shouldn't have said because it wasn't from a place of love, right? It's not that we shouldn't say our truth. It's saying our truth from a place of love. And that's the difference between a blocked chakra or fifth chakra, throat chakra, versus a balanced one. Always speak your truth, right? It's never about not speaking your truth. Is our truth coming from a place of scarcity and fear or a place of love? So we don't want to live in regret. We don't want to live in that place. Oh, wow, you guys. 3 cards popped out. 3 cards fell. So based on timing, we're going to just go ahead and pick one card out of these 3. But for sure, one of these 3 is our message, right? So what I normally do is I kind of just put my hand over it. And if you're new to Oracle decks, if you're new to like the woo-woo stuff, right? It's really just about feeling into it. Okay. And the way that I do that is just feeling heat. Like where did my hand feel the heat and where does the hand not feel as much heat? And I'm feeling heat with this first card up here. Okay. So I'm doing this in real time. I want you to see that it's authentic. I'm not picking these cards. I want them to really authentically be picked in front of you because that's the beauty of it. Like the beauty of working with the Oracle decks, any type of Oracle decks, is that this message is meant for all of us. It's meant for a collective. It's meant for whoever decides to watch this video at any point in time, right? These are evergreen videos. The idea is that I'll leave these videos up forever. And so at any point, this was the message, right? And all the messages before and all the messages later on in the series. So that's what's really cool about it. Okay, let's see what we received. Expansion. Expansion. There's a lot going on in this photo, but it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. There's a lot going on though. So what are you seeing? I see someone blowing either wind, breath. Maybe these are like different earth elements, like wind. I don't know. There's just a lot going on. Expansion. And expansion is a great word for our throat chakra, right? And so as I'm looking at this, I definitely see the wind element, this person blowing wind or blowing their breath. I feel like there's a higher being in this. I feel like there's some giving, like there's some light being given. And then this girl's receiving and she has the earth. She's holding earth. So maybe that's Mother Earth. I don't know. This is what's so cool about the Oracle deck, right? Like, what are your interpretations? What do you see? Like, yeah, maybe these are all the elements. And how do we expand? Okay, so let's see. And again, that's the idea, right? Of what message are we receiving? Okay, so expansion. So this story is called Sky God. You'll see it when you believe it. Okay. Sky God was seeking wise counsel to choose the color of the sky. He wanted the beings of Earth to feel serene when they looked at his work. Other great spirits remind him to trust his intuition. He will know the right color when he sees it. Sky God trusts and sees the color clearly. Thus the sky becomes sky blue. And so some deeper inspiration is seeking good advice is vital when you're pushing into new territory. Stay away from anyone who is critical of your dreams. This indicates possibly changing your friends. Okay. Your life is changing as you move away from the old way of relating to others. New people are entering your life. Relationships may no longer work. You need to reach out to those who are in the same vibrational frequency of personal upliftment. Call upon higher companions to advise you at this time. So some other key ideas is wise counsel, fruitful collaboration, spiritual support, state of uncertainty, being guided. And other words that associate with this tale of Sky God, of expansion, is counseling, connections, and progress. Yeah. So interesting. Expansion. So feeling called to share, yet there's an expansion coming for us, right? We're expanding, we're leveling up, we're ascending, we're awakening. And so the right people need to be around us to support that expansion. And what I'm feeling called, because we're working with the throat chakra, is that we're going to have conversations, right, with the people that are around us. And if those conversations aren't uplifting us, right, because part of communication is listening. So what are people telling us? And what people tell us, especially people that we feel connected to, that we have strong bonds to, we take what they say, to heart, right? We know this, right? There's some people who are like, oh yeah, okay, I hear what you're saying, and you kind of just fluff it off. And there's just some people, when they say something, you're like, you take it to heart more because of the person saying it, right? So it's important for us to have this collective, the people around us, be very supportive of what we are expanding on in our life, right? If we have dreams to start a business, if we have dreams to travel the world and leave everything behind, and we share this with someone, are they going to be supportive, or are they going to tell you all the reasons why this isn't going to work or you shouldn't do it? And that's why having, like, it mentioned the word, I think, the counselor, wise counsel, right? What is a wise counsel? It's not people who deter you away from your dreams. Some may have you think about, right, some pros and cons, like that's a great idea, that sounds amazing, but have you thought about the pros and cons? Just giving you an idea. I think you should do it. Just make sure that you've thought it through, right? That's a difference between like, oh, that's a terrible idea. Oh, like, how are you going to afford it? Like, how are you going to make money? Like, it's not safe. You know, what countries are you going to go to? Like, you don't know anyone there, right? You don't speak the language, right? Those type of things. There's a difference between like, I support it. I think that's a great idea. What do you need? Have you thought about certain things? And if you haven't, let's have a conversation on that, right? There's a difference. And so that's part of our communicating to others and not being afraid to share our big goals and dreams with people, but it has to be the right people. It has to be the right people. And then also the other form of this is what I'm receiving, right, with the throat chakra is the listening, right? We have to be able to have the right people in our ear that are supportive of whatever ways we are expanding, because we're all expanding on different levels, on different things, all of it, right? Different ideas. So this is a cool one. This is wow. I love it. Okay, so share in the comments. What are you thinking about this word? What are you thinking of this story? This just whole idea of expansion, this idea of people, our friends, our family. I know this can be scary, right? Thinking of people that we may not be around, you know, we have to let go of because we know that they're just not supportive, right? Or having to lessen our time with them, right? It can be some heavy work, but it also can be really exciting. And I don't know, I felt very excited. So we're all feeling different about it, but share in the comments what's coming up for you as we're working now with our throat chakra, working with this message we received. So 2 minutes, we're going to do some journaling. So here is our journal prompt to get us started on the throat chakra. How can I create powerful alliances? All right, my friends, 2 minutes is up. And if you have some time, either today or even these next 4 days that we're working with the throat chakra, come back to this journal prompt and dive deeper on it, see what new things come up for you. And even the question of how the word alliance, right? Building like in essence, the dream team, right? When you think about like sports or whatever it is, or in business, there's masterminds. Having just this alliance of people that are really supportive of you, but also that you are supportive of them, right? This alliance, this group where everyone is there to uplift each other, I think is so, so important. And that, we have to communicate in order to be a part of an alliance, be part of a mastermind, be part of, this expansion. We have to share our voice. We have to share things. We can't keep it all to ourselves, maybe for a little bit as we're pondering things. But as we're now starting to expand on it, as the word is expansion, and make this now a real thing, a manifestation, a reality, we gotta share it with the world in some way, right? So this is really cool. This is cool work that we're doing. So thank you so much for showing up for you, showing up for this series to work on the chakra system. And I'm excited to continue working with the throat chakra. So we'll be back here tomorrow for another Mind Fuel Chakra series. I'll see you then. Namaste. If you enjoyed today's practice and you're not yet part of the Mind Fuel Motion community, subscribe today for more daily mindfulness.